Hello, classmates. So, welcome back to another one of my reviews. And for today, I will be reviewing the anime Violet Evergarden, the extremely beautiful and I think one of the best storytelling in all of anime. Although it's kind of boring, and I think it takes time. It's a very slow burn anime, so I don't think a lot of people had seen it or will be watching this one. I just watched because of this aesthetic, and I was impressed a lot more by the storytelling than the aesthetics in in of of self, because the aesthetics, like they can hook you up, but they will not hang out a lot if you are not if the plot's not good enough to receive their aesthetics. So the plot is not very complicated. We have Violet that is a war veteran, and she lost her, I think, major in the war, and now she's trying to cope with that by trying to write letters to another to people that don't know how to write. And I think that is a very compassionate and interesting plot, because if you take our modern history, most of people didn't know how to write or read until the 19th century, and I think Violet Evergarden really takes on that, and I don't know, it's very interesting. And you see the old writing machines, man, the glimmer. I think the glimmer and the light used in this anime is one of the best I have ever seen, because the glimmer really puts on contrast, and I try to make this a little bit with my my painting, but in the end you see that it does not even come close to the actual glimmer in the anime, so that's very disappointing. But the anime is extremely good, but I think there's some boring parts that really kill it for some people. I think the three first letters that she writes, the farm girl, the boy that likes to the boy that was into astrology, and I think the the sister that want to cheer up her brother that lost an arm. I don't know. I don't remember if it was an arm or a leg in the war. And that those ones were kind of boring. I'm not gonna lie. I almost skip it. I almost stopped watching Violet Evergarden because of that. But if you can get past, because the first one and the first three ones were just like a warm up, because they kind of were like, how do I put it? They were kind of like, the first things that Violet had to overcome, because she did not know how to write anything other than military. I think military documents. So the the first three ones really make her shook her, because she just does not understand how to put emotions into those letters. And I think that was a extremely important moment for her, because if you know, I think a lot of veterans had really hard time put their emotions out, because of the thing that they don't wanna to make anyone uncomfortable with their experience. And I know that does not apply with Violet, because she really is someone that really stick out for the people that she loves, and she really tries to do her best. But I think she was an orphan, and she was trained not to have any emotion. So that's really sad, because you know it happened even in the wars. Is kind of like, you know, you need to reprise your emotions to fight another person, and all of that is very, very traumatizing for people. And I think Violet really embodies that, and that's why I think if you need to put past this one, because if you put past the three ones first, you go to get the meat, not just you're gonna get the meat of the show, because the show really starts, I think, when like the author the did not could not write anymore because of his daughter died. That one really shook. Then another one was the one that she tried to save a lot of people. No, she tried to save a soldier, but he was captured and died fighting the people that want to continue the war. Really sad, really sad. But the one that really stuck to me, and I think for everybody, was the one with the mother and the child. The child really, the child that said the violets look like a doll, and she does, she does. She is actually extremely perfect, and I think the right there and that was when I really feel like was watching a really good show, because when we see Violet trying to compose a try to write something that feelings to the from the mother to the daughters, it really was, because her mother was about to die and she does not want to her daughter to be left alone in this world, so she makes Violet write a lot of letters from age 5 to age 30 or so on, so that her daughter does not go, I think, not knowing about the things in life. And another, I don't know, but like that one made me really cry. I think that it was a very good experience, because I had not cried ever since I watched, I think, Made in Abyss, and that was like 2017. And Violet really made me cry, because man, that scene really stuck out to me. And I think this one I really felt was like I was watching something special. I know I haven't watched the movies yet. The movies are really long. I think 2 hours and a half, and the other was 1 hour and I don't know, but they were really long. And I hope they made they adapted the whole manga. I don't think there's a manga that was actually a light novel, and I don't know if I want to read it all, but I really hope they get the adaptation right. But for another aspect of the series, the combat, the scene was very smooth, and the thing that I really liked was the aesthetic of Violet, because she's like a little soldier, but she was dressed like a doll. And if you saw her arms are really like mechanic arms. I don't know how she control it, because when you see the fight scene, the last fight scene to end the war, she lost both of her arms. And I think when she lost both of her arms, how are you supposed to know how to typewrite it up, all of that? Like the calibration must be insane for someone to write something like that. And I think this was the most unrealistic thing in Violet Evergarden. But the other things were like they really made the show to be as emotional as anything can have it, and I really enjoy that, because I don't know, watching the animes in this season, I think 2010s to 2020, they really try to hide this emotional aspect of anime. They made Violet Evergarden, Made in Abyss, Madoka Magica, and I think other animes that really try to make a statement about health issues. Maybe a bit not much, but I think Wonder Egg Priority really tried, but they failed really hard. And I think Violet Evergarden really tried to make everything better and to show it to the veterans that it's okay to, I don't know, how to express your emotions. And another thing, the last thing I found interesting was the letters between the two kingdoms. And that one is a little bit more about world building, but it's kind of like seeing after the First World War, everybody's starting to be cordial because nobody wants to have the same thing again. And this sentiment I can really feel in Violet because she starts wanting to see her major, but I think he's dead. He's really dead, and nothing can bring him back. And seeing her come back to the last fortress and trying to find his body, that that really hurts because he was probably blown up in smithereens, and like he, I don't know, it's really fucked up if you think about, because his body is almost non-existent and he's probably lying on a shallow grave next to all of his soldiers. And he didn't want that to happen to Violet because Violet was just like, I think, 12 or 13 or something. She was really young, and that that was a really sad fate for him because I want to see him after the war and how he deals with Violet and all of those things. So I don't know. I really want him to come back, but I think in our nation, I don't know, how do I say, in our narration point of view, it would not make any sense. So if they do that in the movie, because I saw him in the front of the movie, I don't know how I would feel about that. It would not make much sense. There was I will confirm that would not make any sense. So I hope they don't go for that route and instead like make like he's a ghost or of her past. I don't know. I really hope they don't go out and revive the dude that was blown up. But I think that is for today. And today I really like Violet Evergarden, but I don't know. Violet Evergarden was a slow burn and very, very tiresome anime at times, but very rewarding in some aspects because it is a anime that not everybody will like. And I hope we appreciate more this slow burn storytelling than just action packed shonen or extremely corny romance and all that. So thank you for watching.